Today, we're diving into something that every single one of us in a US workplace has seen, but maybe haven't really thought about. Yeah, I'm talking about the Code of Conduct. We're going to break down why it's not just some boring rulebook, but actually a roadmap for making our workplaces better.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a scenario. Picture this. You're at work, you're faced with a choice, and it's murky. It's not black and white. Maybe a client offers you some really great tickets to a game, or a buddy at work asks you to do a little favor that just feels a bit off, right? The answer isn't obvious, so what do? Where do you even look for guidance? Well, that's exactly what the Code of Conduct is for. All right, let's start with the big idea here. It's so easy to look at the Code of Conduct and just see a long list of don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. But honestly, it's so much more. Think of it as the foundation, the guide that's built to help everyone, you, me, all of us, succeed and feel safe at work. Probably the best way to think about it is like this. It's a user manual for your company. Seriously, it's not there to box you in or restrict you. It's there to give you clear instructions, the how-to, for navigating the professional world with integrity and fairness.
And when you boil it all down, a really strong code of conduct does three main things. First, it's a governance tool. It sets crystal clear expectations. Second, it's a risk management document, which sounds boring, but it's what protects everyone from legal trouble. And maybe the most important part, it's the cultural foundation. It's literally the bedrock of the company's entire culture.
And that impact isn't just felt inside the company walls. A solid code sends a powerful signal to the whole world. We're talking clients, partners, everyone, that your organization is the real deal, that it's trustworthy. And in today's market, that is a massive competitive advantage. Okay, so we get why it matters, but what's actually in one of these things? What's inside a typical code of conduct? Let's peel back the layers and take a look at the key parts you're going to find in just about any US company's code. So, right at the top, you've got professional conduct. This is the baseline, the absolute minimum. It's all about honesty, taking responsibility for what you do, and just being professional. It's the simple stuff, really, like being truthful in your work and treating your job with respect. Now, this part is non-negotiable. It is absolutely critical. The code makes it incredibly clear that harassment and discrimination are prohibited. Period. The whole point is to make sure the workplace is a safe, inclusive space where every single person is treated with dignity, no matter who they are or where they come from. And in our super digital world, this next part has become more important than ever. The code spells out your duty, your responsibility to protect sensitive information. We're talking about everything from company secrets and customer data to your colleagues' personal records. Protecting this stuff is a core part of everyone's job. Okay, this one can get a little tricky. A conflict of interest, what is that really? It's basically any situation where your personal life, say a side hustle you have, or maybe a personal relationship with a vendor, could cloud your judgment at work. The code requires you to speak up about these things, just to make sure your decisions are always impartial and focused on what's best for the company. All right, so we've taken the document apart. Now for what I think is the most important piece of the puzzle, your role. How do you actually put this into practice and help shape the culture where you work? I'm sure you've all done this. You've probably signed one, maybe when you were first hired or during an annual refresher training, but it is so much more than just checking a box. When you sign that, it's a real commitment. It's your formal promise, your attestation, that you've read it, you get it, and you agree to live by the company's ethical standards. And this isn't just a one-time thing, right? Most companies will have you do this every year, these annual certifications, just to keep the code fresh in your mind. The whole process creates this clear, documented trail showing everyone's on the same page, which is super important for compliance. So what happens if you see something that doesn't quite line up with the code? Well, this is where the idea of a speak-up culture comes into play. The goal here is to build a place where you and everyone else feel totally safe and even encouraged to raise concerns without being afraid of what might happen. And the code will always show you exactly how to do that. You've usually got a few different options. You can talk to your direct manager, you can go to HR, or sometimes there's a specific compliance officer. Plus, a lot of companies now have anonymous ethics hotlines, which are great because you can report something with complete confidentiality. This right here is the single most important promise a company can make to protect you: a zero-tolerance policy against retaliation. It means you will not, under any circumstances, face negative blowback for reporting a potential problem in good faith. And just so we're clear, this isn't just some nice company promise. It has teeth. It's actually backed by U.S. federal law. Things like the Whistleblower Protection Act give legal cover to employees who report misconduct. So the whole system is really designed to have your back when you do the right thing. And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most serious part of this explainer. What happens when someone actually violates the code? Because look, a strong ethical compass has to have a clear, fair, and consistent process for when things go off course. The consequences are almost always scaled to how serious the violation is. For a lot of issues, companies will use what's called progressive discipline. Starts with a verbal warning, then maybe a written one, and so on. But, and this is a big but, for the really major stuff like theft, violence, or severe harassment, the code is very clear that termination can be immediate. And this quote really gets to the heart of it. These rules and procedures aren't just about punishment. They exist to protect everybody, the whole company and every single employee, by making sure that the ethical standards are applied the same way, fairly to everyone. So, as we start to wrap this up, I really want to leave you with this one thought. Try not to see the code of conduct as some kind of restrictive cage. It's not. It's a compass, it's a tool that's designed to help you, your team, and your entire organization navigate the tricky parts of the modern workplace with confidence. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. How are you going to use this code? Not just as some document you glance at once a year, but as a real daily guide to help build a better, stronger culture where you work. Because at the end of the day, the power to make that culture great, well, it starts with each and every one of us. Thanks for joining me.